Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR, and we are going to be talking about the big concern that everyone is having. Now, I'm going to be giving you guys my full-on 100% opinion on this. I'm going to be 100% real. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this is great, that's great. No. This is my 100% opinion on what's happening right now. So let's dive in and let's talk about this with full transparency. So there is going to be a major token unlock from Hedera. In fact, this is going to be a near 3.5 billion HBAR unlock for the supply, meaning we are going to be at nearly 30 billion HBAR out there. Now, we'll talk about the market effects after this, but I want to go in depth on this. So we do see, as previously shared, Hedera makes payments to Swirls Labs for ongoing work under the outsourcing contract. The payments for these services are made as prepayments of HBAR with periodic adjustments based on actual expenses and HBAR market price. We do see today, on February 24th, Hedera will make a payment of 1.5 billion. It's a little bit over 1.5 billion HBAR for the 2023 periodic adjustment for actual expenses and market price. And on March 17th, 2023, Hedera will make its next prepayment of nearly 2 billion HBAR for 2024 services. Both payments are based on a trailing 30-day average closing price as of December 31st, 2022, at about 4.5 cents. In addition, Hedera will soon be making the final payment to Swirls Labs Inc. to cover the tax liability for the previously announced IP purchase of the Hashgraph algorithm. In combination, these payments will create transfers of approximately 4 billion HBAR. This will be reflected in the release supply reported by some industry trackers and shortly in the Hedera Treasury Management Report. So, concerns. Let's talk about this. So, with the tax liability accommodated as well, it's nearly 4 billion HBAR released. Am I concerned? Short term, 100%. We will see the price reflect this with the market. Meaning we will most likely see a lot of people dumping tokens. We will see a lot of people taking profits because, again, with token unlocks, you can never, guess what's going to happen with them. What I don't like about all of this is that it's based on the trailing 30-day average of the closing price as of December 31st, 2022. I get it. I understand it. I just don't like it because at today's price, Hedera's trailing at, I think, like roughly 7.5 cents or something like that, which would significantly be a lower HBAR supply. But hey, it is what it is. Now, for those out there that are thinking that this is a shock, that this is coming out of nowhere, just know that Hedera has been very transparent about this since going back 7 months ago. The thing that I don't like is that we just recently started to get some price action on Hedera, and very similar to 2021 when we started to kind of break out, we got dumped on in terms of a token supply release, and we're basically seeing that happen again. I also talked about the Hedera report, meaning, guess what? As we do see 4 billion HBAR being released, I've talked about the transactional demand of the network. Listen, we're only at about $3,000 in revenue for the transactions in a 24-hour period. We are not making a ton of money in terms of the network per year. We're sitting only at about almost $2 million for yearly revenue. So when we take a look at this, I'm concerned about the token release because we don't have enough money coming in on the network to cover a lot of these major releases and payments and things like that. Meaning, I would like to see the network have more than just one live enterprise grade use case because there's not a lot of revenue generation happening for Hedera. This is me being 100% with you guys as well. So I like I said, I understand these token releases. I understand that there's things to cover. I'm just a little bit concerned on the release supply because it is a large amount of supply. It's nearly 6.3% of the total supply. This article is a little bit off because it is going off of token unlocks, and they have this at 3.14 million HBAR instead of 3.14 billion. But even then, it's still over 3.14 billion anyways. It's like 3.5, but also accounting for the tax liability, it's more than 3.5 billion tokens that will get released. So again, this is a very large amount of HBAR to get unlocked all at once, and it could stifle short-term price action. Now, if we are going over here to the token release schedule, this is right on par. As you guys do see at the end of Q2 of 2023, which we're basically at the end of Q1, kind of ahead of schedule. We do see that we will be sitting at about 29.7 billion. Now, I do think that they are accommodating for the release happening in 2024 as well, meaning going back to that initial tweet. If we read back down into this area here, they are already making a prepayment for HBAR in 2024. So the 2024 services are going to be paid off. I think so. 1.9 billion. Let me see if they have that here. I don't think that they actually have that labeled here. I might be. Oh, all right. No, never mind. Here, Swirls Labs investors. So about 1 billion will be the total amount here. I'm not seeing it in. I guess that they don't have the 2024 report here just yet. I think that they'll still add that at some point in time. But if we look at like the reports for 2023, you could see what they want to do in terms of like the purchase agreements. So here are like the purchase agreements. So that's accommodating for the 1 billion that they are doing, the initial 1 billion here, this 1.5. So again, it is what it is. I understand it. I get it. The only thing is that I'm concerned with the points that these are getting released at like some of the worst times in the market, to be honest with you guys. It does suck. But soon we will kind of get away from the large amounts of unlocks. And then once we do get out of that, then we could really kind of focus on price action. Until then, there's really no point to. But I also want to say that in the short term, this is good for those out there that do want to be buyers of HBAR. So here we have also today, this is the amount of supply out there, 25.3 billion. We do see that over the next couple days, this actually isn't accommodating for the major amount to be released, but we should be at around like roughly 30 billion by the end of March. Now, I did do the math. So again, today we're trailing at around like 7.5 cents. We started to see a major drop, and we kind of really topped out back in the beginning of this month at around like February 12th. We topped out at about almost 10 cents. But today we have about 26.3 billion HBAR supply. I already did the math. I added everything together. It's like 29.8 billion HBAR. Going off of our market cap today, we would be sitting at about 6.5 cents. So we're going to still have the same market cap. We're just going to be at a lower price action. In terms of HBAR, though, itself, where could we go? So price-wise, I will be a bidder at 5.5 cents. I think that this is a nice area to start bidding. If we lose the area that we are at now, which I do believe that we will, which is almost like 7.5 cents, we could either target anywhere between 5.5 cents down to about the 618, which would be 4.5 cents. If we do get a retest of the 702, it will be down at nearly 3 cents. So for those out there that do want to be a big buyer, well, here is your demand area. So I would wait personally to go heavy. I would wait to see if we lose this area of support. It's basically at like 5.5 cents. If we lose 5.5 cents, then we will most likely target 4.5 down to anywhere between like 3 cents to 4.5 cents. So this area down here is like a big demand zone. Now, why will we see this? Well, look at the Bitcoin price chart. Bitcoin price chart looks horrendous. The next area, which would be the 618 pullback, this would be about 244 sats. So this is a significant drop on the Bitcoin pair. This would be about a 20 24% drop from our current price right here. A 24% drop would take us right down to my 5.5 cent zone anyways. Any deeper than that, like if we come down to this like 3 cent zone, this would be about a 56% drop. A 56% drop, I mean, it really would be coming down to like the 702, I would say, over here on the Bitcoin pair. Because again, usually we would double what we see over here. Sometimes it's different. But as you guys do see, like we had this significant drop on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin pair anyways. And right now, from that topping point that we've seen, we're already down about like 25% at the current price. We're down 26.5% already. We go off of the Bitcoin pair. It's a little bit of a different, it's almost like the same, it's a little bit over. So we might not have as deep of a dip that I'm expecting here. Again, like I said, the 618 is perfect to me. This would be about a 38% drop. If we have the 702 pullback, this would be about a 38.83% drop on the Bitcoin pair. Even if we retest the support wicks, this would be about a 29% drop on the Bitcoin pair, which, by the way, for those out there, considering the fact that the Bitcoin pair is actually pretty weak right now, I've been paying attention to Bitcoin. You guys know me. I've been looking to see what we are either going to do here. I was actually waiting for us to hit my demand zone up there. We ended up doing so. We hit the same exact wick that we seen back in August. So now we wait to see if we are going to see a deeper pullback or not, down to 21.3K to anywhere between 20.6K. Maybe even lower, depending on how deep we really go with the S&P 500. But from our current price on Bitcoin, if we continue to drop here, most altcoins will do a much deeper correction, considering the fact that Bitcoin itself on the Bitcoin dominance scale is still trailing at around 44% nearly. So that's a significant range, and ultimately, altcoins will get hurt tremendously if Bitcoin does have a stronger pullback. But like I said, these token unlocks combined with the market and what's happening within the market, meaning Bitcoin having a pullback, Bitcoin having a little bit of a correction, it provides buying opportunities. So for those out there that were saying, damn, I really wish that I would have bought a lot more HBAR down under like 7 cents, to under 6 cents, under 5 cents, whatever. Well, guess what? Your opportunity might be here again because of a token unlock and also with the market conditions. But I figured I would just warn you guys ahead of time because, I mean, this is a significant amount of tokens to be unlocked. It's about 6.28% of the total supply. And ultimately, going off of what I calculated, it's actually more than 6.28%. It's actually a little over like 7%, I think. So with that in mind, you could see what's actually being unlocked here. So ecosystem and open source development, purchase agreements, network governance and operations, and you could read over here on the allocations categories and see everything around this and accommodate it for the Q1 2023, or at least I believe it's all under the Q1 2023 distributions, because this is pretty transparent on everything happening around this. Like for an example, ecosystem development program, we go over here, ecosystem and open source development, about 2.25 almost billion. We go back over here, it's about 2.2, almost 5 billion. So it's right on par with what we are seeing here. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward, but we are going to see a little bit more unlocked. We're actually going to be around what we would see in Q2 of 2023. So we might actually see by Q2 about 31 billion HBAR released. It's questionable, right? But hey, like I said, short term provides a buy opportunity. Long term, is it going to stifle price action? Again, it all depends on, Hedera's momentum when we do see a major token unlock or anything like that. So with that in mind, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this. Before this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.